Audible? Am I audible? Okay, we will start the session. So, in the last two classes, we were discussing about common emitter amplifier. Okay, so in the first class, we have seen what is an amplifier, but how each component of a common emitter amplifier is working in the circuit. Okay, so we have seen that. Then in the next class, we have seen what is a voltage divider circuit, what is the importance of voltage divider circuit in the common emitter amplifier. And now the third session of this particular topic, that is common emitter amplifier frequency response. Okay, most of the time the questions will be asked like this: explain the, with a neat circuit diagram, explain the operation of common emitter amplifier. Or sometimes they may ask, with a neat circuit diagram and frequency response, explain the operation of common emitter amplifier. So this is also a sub question which can be asked together with the common emitter amplifier circuit, or it can be asked separately. സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആയിട്ട് വേണമെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാം. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ് ഇത് കോമൺ എമിറ്റർ ആംപ്ലിഫയറിന്റെ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി റെസ്പോൺസ്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ഹിയർ we know what is the response. Okay, actually frequency response means what? So how the amplifier works when you are giving different types of frequency to its input. Okay, that is about frequency response. How the amplifier will respond, or how the amplifier will be giving the output if you give different types of frequency to the input terminal. That is about frequency response. Okay, so here we are talking about we or frequency response means it is just a plot that is plotted between frequency and voltage. Okay, in the y axis, we will plot voltage gain. It is not voltage, it is voltage gain. So in the y axis we will be plotting voltage gain, and in the x axis we will plot frequency. That is what frequency response curve. Okay, so what we are going to do is, we have a circuit, common emitter amplifier circuit. We are giving some signals of different frequency, and we are just checking what is its output. That means we are just measuring the voltage gain. Voltage gain is nothing but output voltage divided by input voltage. Okay, output voltage divided by input voltage. For each frequency, we are measuring voltage gain, that is output voltage divided by input voltage for each set of frequency, and then we will plot a graph with frequency in the x-axis and voltage gain in the y-axis. That curve is called frequency response. Okay, so voltage gain of common emitter amplifier varies with the signal frequency. Okay, it gain will vary with the signal frequency. That is what we are going to see. It is because of the reactance of the capacitor in the circuit changes with the signal frequency, and hence it affects the output voltage. It is because the reactance of a capacitor in the circuit changes with signal frequency. So we have already know there is a coupling capacitor and an emitter capacitor. The reactance of this capacitor will be changing with signal frequency. Okay, so the curve drawn between voltage gain and signal frequency of an amplifier is known as frequency response. The curve drawn between voltage gain, as I said, voltage gain in the y-axis and signal frequency in the x-axis is known as frequency response. So the curve drawn between voltage gain and the signal frequency of an amplifier is known as frequency response. Okay, we will see what is how the frequency of common emitter amplifier looks like. So as I said, frequency is in the x-axis, and you can see voltage gain. We know what is the gain actually. Gain is output voltage divided by input voltage, and voltage gain is plotted in the y-axis. Okay, so when you see this graph, you know that there is a curve. ഒരു ബോട്ട് ഇൻവേർട്ട് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ച പോലെയാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ ഉള്ളത് കർവ് അല്ലെ. ഒരു ബോട്ട് എടുത്തിട്ട് തലതിരിച്ച് വെച്ച പോലെയാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ ആ കർവ് ഉള്ളത്. So you can see that when the frequency is very minimum, or when the frequency is less than this frequency range, the gain decreases. Okay, when the frequency is less than this particular point, when the input frequency of the signal is less than this particular point, gain reduces. When the input frequency is greater than this point, again gain reduces. And in between, there is a region where you will be getting constant gain. That is known as mid-frequency region. Okay, again I will tell you. Frequency response curve of a common amplifier is plotted between frequency and voltage gain. Okay, frequency is in the x-axis and voltage gain in the y-axis. So if you plot frequency response curve of a common emitter amplifier, it looks like this. ഇതുപോലെയാണ് ഉണ്ടാവുക. And if you observe this diagram, you can see that when the frequency is less than this frequency, what I have drawn now, is gain reduces. And that particular region is called low frequency region. And when the frequency is higher than this particular frequency, again its voltage gain reduces. That region is called a high frequency region, and there is a mid frequency region where you will get constant frequency. Okay, why it is important to have a constant frequency? That is the next question. Why it is important to have a constant frequency? For example, in terms of voltage gain, I know I have already written the formula. Voltage gain is equal to voltage gain AV is equal to V out divided by V in. From this equation, we know that V out is equal to voltage gain into V in. Okay, so say example, I am setting gain to 5. My gain is 5. That is, I have a constant voltage gain, that is 5. When input voltage is 1 volt, so 1 into 5, output will be 5. When input voltage is 2, so 2 into 5, output is 10. When input voltage is 3, 3 into 5, 15. So you can see as the input increases, proportionally output increases. As the input increases, proportionally output increases. Suppose my gain is not constant. Gain varies. Assume that my gain varies. So initially it was 5. So when input was 1 voltage, output was 5. Then later gain changed to some 2.5. So when input is 2 volt, you can see that output is still 5. Okay. Later, when the input is 3, this is something called 1.33. So again it is 5. You can see that when the input is increasing proportionally, there is no change in the output. Amplifier is not working properly. That is the meaning of that. Okay, amplifier is not working properly. So it is very important to have a constant gain so that when the input changes proportionally, you can change the output. Is it clear for you? Why we require constant gain? Okay. So from the plot, what we understood is uh, in the x-axis we have frequency, in the y-axis we have voltage gain, and frequency response characteristics of common emitter amplifier. It is having three region. One is low frequency region where gain is reducing as the frequency is reducing. There is a high frequency region where the gain is reducing as the frequency is increasing, and there is also a mid frequency region where gain is constant. So we have to operate in this region. For all this, amplifier should operate in the constant frequency or constant gain region or mid frequency region in order to work it properly. But here you can see that there is additional one more line. What they have done is, this is a peak frequency. Okay, this constant line is a peak frequency. They have reduced 3 dB from this. That is, gain is in terms of decibel. Okay, so 3 dB decimal from this, or they have divided total gain by root 2, and they have marked a line. Okay, ഒരു maximum peak value പകരം ഒരു average value എടുത്തു, അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. So this line is marked here. Okay, the point at which this line touches this curve is marked here, and this is selected as FL. This is marked as FL. Okay, what they have done, from the peak gain, they have divided peak gain by root 2, and they have drawn a line. So this is the peak line. They have divided peak line by root 2, and then they have drawn a line. And from where that line touches this curve, we have drawn a line towards the x-axis that is marked as FL, low frequency, and the same line touches in the opposite side, high frequency region, a point in the high frequency region. That point is known as high frequency, FH. So on an average, we have to operate within this region in order to make this amplifier to work properly. Okay, the difference between high frequency FH and FL is known as bandwidth of an amplifier. You can see in this diagram, the difference between FH and FL is known as bandwidth of this amplifier. ഓക്കെ, എന്താ പ്ലോട്ട് മനസ്സിലായോ? എന്താ പ്ലോട്ടിലുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ മനസ്സിലായോ? ക്യാൻ യു എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ദ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി റെസ്പോൺസ് ക്യാരക്ടറിസ്റ്റിക്സ്? എന്താണ് ഇത്രയും പോയിന്റ്സ്? വാട്ട് ആർ ദ പോയിന്റ്സ് വി ഹാവ് ഡിസ്കസ്ഡ്? സോ ഇൻ ദ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി റെസ്പോൺസ് ക്യാരക്ടറിസ്റ്റിക്സ്, we have plotted frequency of the input signal in the x-axis and voltage gain in the y-axis. And the frequency response curve has three parts. One is low frequency region, and another is mid frequency region, and another is high frequency region. In the high frequency region, As the gain increase, as the frequency increases, the gain decreases. And in the low frequency region, as the gain decreases, sorry, as the frequency decreases, gain decreases. And in the mid frequency region, the gain is constant. And there are two frequency components, FL and FH. From the peak value of voltage gain, we are dividing it with root 2. So that then we will get a line. The total value of voltage gain is divided with root 2. Then we will get a line. So the line is drawn. That line touches this curve in the low frequency region that is considered as FL. The same line is again touching the curve in the high frequency region. That line is known as FH. The difference between FL and FH and FL is bandwidth of that amplifier. It's clear, അല്ലേ നിങ്ങൾക്ക്? Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to find out why at low frequency the gain of this amplifier reduces. Also, we have to find out why at high frequency the gain of the amplifier again reduces. Okay, so that is what we have to find out. Okay, again, let me come to three capacitors, C1, C2, CE, coupling capacitor and emitter capacitor. Okay, and we know that in the previous class we have studied a formula. Reactance of a capacitor is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc. That means when the frequency is very low, when the frequency value is low, and what will happen to reactance when the frequency is low? Okay, come back to this circuit diagram. In the circuit diagram, we have three capacitors, C1, C2, those are coupling capacitor. Then we have emitter capacitor CE, and reactance of this capacitor XC is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc. Reactance means it is something like a resistance to the capacitor. Okay, resistance in the term, sorry, capacitor in the term, reactance is resistance. That is we module discuss here. Okay, so reactance of the capacitor is given by 1 by 2 pi Fc. So tell me, when the frequency is low, what will happen to reactance? Whether it will increase or whether it will decrease. Okay, see this equation. See this equation. If in this equation, if frequency value is low, what will happen to reactance? ഇവിടെ പറയട്ടെ, നിങ്ങളുടെ റെസ്പോൺസ് ഒക്കെ കുറഞ്ഞു പോയാലോ? ഇപ്പം ഒരു സീരീസ് എക്സാം കഴിയുമ്പോൾ 2 ദിവസം ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കാത്തപ്പോൾ വീണ്ടും പഴയ പോലെ ആയാ? Nobody. Am I audible? So tell me, okay, am I audible? Yes. Okay, tell me what is the answer for this? Very simple. Ayyo. When frequency is very low, what will happen to reactance? Already we discussed it. Okay, here you have an equation. Xc is equal to 1 by 2 pi fc. Frequency into capacitance. Okay, Xc. Xc, Xc reactance of a capacitor is equal to 1 by 2 pi fc, where f is frequency, c is capacitance. So when the frequency is very low, Xc will be very high. So what happens at low frequency, you can see that at low frequency of the input signal, what will happen? The reactance of the capacitor is very high, so that the signal cannot reach to the base. Okay, so namakariam capacitor will allow AC and it will block DC. DC means actually a signal with a frequency 0. DC frequency 0 ആണ്. Okay, എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ബ്ലോക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? When frequency is 0, we know that Xc is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc. So when frequency is 0, reactance is infinity. Reactance is infinity. So it is having infinite resistance to DC. So as the signal frequency reduces, it almost becomes a DC signal. As the frequency of AC signal reduces, it almost becomes a DC signal. So what happens? ഈ ഒരു ഇൻപുട്ട് സിഗ്നലിന് കപ്പാസിറ്റർ വഴി ബേസ് ടെർമിനലിലേക്ക് പോകാൻ പറ്റില്ല. സോ മെജോറിറ്റി ഓഫ് ഇൻപുട്ട് സിഗ്നലിന് ബേസ് ടെർമിനലിലേക്ക് എത്താൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. സോ വാട്ട് ഹാപ്പൻസ്? വി നോ ദാറ്റ് ഗെയിൻ ഈസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു വി ഔട്ട് ബൈ വി ഇൻ, or V out is equal to V in into gain. So gain is constant, but V in is very less now. നമ്മൾ കൊടുത്തത്ര V in ഇല്ല. So what happens? The gain reduces. The gain of the amplifier reduces at low frequency because the capacitor reactance is very high. Here also we have a capacitor. The same thing affect this capacitor also. There also, when you have multiple stages, the gain of the capacitor reduces. And here also we have some problem. E capacitor endina vechadu, this there will be some drop across this resistor. In order to minimize that drop, we have kept this capacitor. But at low frequency, this capacitor also will be having some resistance. So it will reduce the gain of the transistor. So you can say that at low frequency, the reactance of the capacitor is very high. So it will not allow most of the signal to reach at the input terminal. Okay, we can see at low frequency, the reactance of coupling capacitor is relatively high, and hence very small part of the signal will pass from amplifier to load. Okay, similarly, input to the amplifier. Both the cases are there. Moreover, emitter capacitor cannot shunt the emitter resistance effectively because of its large reactance at low frequency. So at the low frequency, what happens is reactance of the capacitor increases, so the losses will increases, so gain reduces. That is about low frequency. But at high frequency, what happens? At high frequency, again the problem is reactance of this capacitor reduces. Okay, we know the formula again. What is the formula? Xc is equal to 1 by 2 pi fc. So at a high frequency, reactance reduces, it becomes minimum. Then what happens is, there may be a possibility that current will flow from VCC to input. The current sometimes flow from VCC to input. Also, it will affect the working of transistor, because transistor, there is a base emitter junction and base collector junction. So when the frequency to this base junction is high, it won't work properly. So that is the reason there is a low gain in the high frequency region. Okay, so low frequency region low gain ഉണ്ടാവാൻ ഒരു കാരണമുള്ളത് because of the high reactance of the capacitor. But high frequency region gain താവാൻ രണ്ട് reason ഉണ്ട്. One is internal property of the transistor, because there are two junctions, it will affect the working of this transistor. And another is when the frequency of capacitor is more, the reactance becomes very less, it will cause some current to flow from VCC to the input, and it affects the working of the circuit. Okay, we will read it. At high frequency, okay, again we will read from the start. Okay, from the starting we will read. From the above graph, we observe that, okay, all of you just remember this graph. ഒന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് ആ ഗ്രാഫിലേക്ക് ഒന്ന് നോക്ക്. And from the above graph, we observe that voltage gain drops at low frequency and high frequencies, where it is constant over mid frequency. At low frequency, the reactance of the coupling capacitor is relatively high, and hence very small part of the signal will pass from amplifier stage to load or input to the transistor. Moreover, there is one more reason. Emitter capacitor cannot shunt the emitter resistance effectively because of its large reactance at low frequencies. Okay, so these are the two factors that cause drop of voltage gain at low frequency. But again, at high frequency, what happens is reactance of the capacitor is very small and it behaves like a short circuit, so that current will flow from VCC to the input. That is, this increases the loading effect of the amplifier stage and serves to reduce the voltage gain. What happens actually is the current flows from VCC to the input. Moreover, at higher frequency, the capacitive reactance of base emitter junction, again listen to this, the capacitive reactance of base emitter junction is low, which increases the base current or which affect the working of the transistor. And we can see that at mid frequency, the voltage gain of the amplifier is constant. Okay, so voltage gain is constant. So most of the audio amplifier have a flat frequency response ranging from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. ഒരു ഹ്യൂമൻ ബീയിങ്ങിന് ഓഡിയബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള റേഞ്ച് ആണ് അത്, 20 Hz to 20 kHz. സോ എല്ലാ ആംപ്ലിഫയറും ഈ ഒരു ഫ്രീക്വൻസിയിലായിരിക്കും ഡിസൈൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടാവുക. So bandwidth is a difference between FH and FL. That frequency point FL and FH are related to low corner and upper corner of the amplifier, which are the gain forced circuit as at a high as well as low frequency. So BW bandwidth is equal to FH minus FL. Okay, that's about this amplifier. So ഒന്നും കൂടെ നമുക്ക് ഈ ആംപ്ലിഫയറിനെ പറ്റി ഒന്ന് ആലോചിച്ച് നോക്കാം. സോ ഫാർ വാട്ട് വി ഡിസ്കസ്ഡ് ഈസ് വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയ ടോപ്പിക്കാണ്, അതാണ് വീണ്ടും വീണ്ടും പറയുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, സോ വി ഹാവ് എ സർക്യൂട്ട്. സോ first what you explain what is an amplifier and what is common emitter, then you explain importance of these components. coupling capacitor. Here also we have a coupling capacitor. Here we have emitter capacitor. Why these resistors are used? This you have to explain. And then there is a separate question. They can separately ask what is potential divider or voltage divider circuit. That is separate question. At that time you have to do all those derivations what we have seen in the first class, today's morning first hour. Then separately they can ask what is frequency response of a common emitter amplifier. That also possible. Okay, just ഇതൊന്നൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് എന്താ പറയാ ഒന്ന് വായിച്ചു നോക്കുക. ഓക്കെ, എന്നാലൊരു ഐഡിയ കിട്ടും. കുറച്ച് ആദ്യം ഒറ്റ ഇതിൽ ഞാൻ എത്ര പറഞ്ഞാലും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കുറച്ച് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുണ്ടാവും. സോ ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് ഞാൻ വെച്ച ഐഡിയ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്ത ഐഡിയ വെച്ചിട്ട് ഒന്നിത് വായിച്ചു നോക്കുക ആ നോട്ടിൽ എങ്ങനെയാണ് വരുന്നതെന്ന്. ഓക്കെ, സോ നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത ടോപ്പിക്കിലേക്ക് പോവാം. It is completely theory part. Okay, elements of a measurement system. ഓക്കെ, ഒന്നും കൂടെ പറയാം. കോമൺ എമിറ്റർ ആംപ്ലിഫയറിൽ 3 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആണ് ചോദിക്കുക. എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ വിത്ത് എ നീറ്റ് സർക്യൂട്ട് ഡയഗ്രാം, എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ദ വർക്കിംഗ് ഓഫ് കോമൺ എമിറ്റർ ആംപ്ലിഫയർ, എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ വോൾട്ടേജ് ഡിവൈഡർ സർക്യൂട്ട്, എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ദ തേർഡ് വൺ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി റെസ്പോൺസ് ഓഫ് എ കോമൺ എമിറ്റർ ആംപ്ലിഫയർ. ഓക്കെ, 3 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആണ് ചോദിക്കുക. സോ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു വന്ന പോലെ അത് പഠിച്ച് എഴുതുക. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. ഈ 3 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനിൽ ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എന്തായാലും എക്സാമിന് ഉണ്ടാവും. ഓക്കെ, അടുത്തത് എലമെന്റ്സ് ഓഫ് എ മെഷർമെന്റ് സിസ്റ്റം. ഓക്കെ, എന്താണ് മെഷർമെന്റ് സിസ്റ്റം? വാട്ട് ഇസ് എ മെഷർമെന്റ് സിസ്റ്റം? ഓക്കെ, ഒരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറയാം. all of you might have seen the weighing machine in the shop, ordinary shop, okay, or supermarket. It will be having a base supporting arrangement like this. വെയിങ് മെഷീൻ അല്ലേ, നമ്മൾ വെയിറ്റ് ഒക്കെ നോക്കുന്ന വെയിങ് മെഷീൻ. ഒന്നെങ്കിൽ നമ്മളെ വെയിറ്റ് നോക്കാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ വാങ്ങുന്ന സാധനങ്ങളെ വെയിറ്റ് നോക്കാം. So you might have seen something like this. Okay, here you will be having some display. Here also you will be having some kind of display. Okay, so if you want to measure something, we will be keeping on this surface കുറച്ച് അരിയോ പച്ചസാരിയോ എന്തെങ്കിലും വെക്കണമെങ്കിൽ മെഷർ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ, so we'll be keeping on this surface. So there will be a display. It will show you what is the exact weight of this object. Okay, it was working like that. Okay, so it is called a weighing machine. So such kind of things are coming in measurement system. So here what we are measuring, the weight of this object. So like that we will be able to measure many physical quantities like weight, velocity, acceleration, displacement, pressure, etc. So the system used to measure this physical quantity is known as measurement system. Okay, so the best example ഇതാണ്. ഒരു weighing machine ഉണ്ട്. You might have seen this. So the object which we need to measure weight. Okay, so we will be keeping on the surface. So it will display you exact value of that measurement, how much it is. Okay, so that's such kind of system is measurement system or instrumentation system. So to understand a measurement system, it is important to have a systematic organization and analysis of measurement system. Okay, so these are some introduction. So what I was coming to explain you is we can measure physical quantities with the help of electronics. Physical quantities, especially weight, mass, force, torque. Then we can measure speed, velocity, acceleration, then pressure, etc. Like that, many quantity can be measured. You know that in our motorcycle and car and all, we have odometer where speed will be displayed. Okay, speed of the vehicle, speed at which the vehicle is traveling, that will be displayed. So there is some kind of measuring system or instrumentation system. And also you might have seen uh, there are equipment. Okay, we can say that the thermal scanners which we are using nowadays, what they will do, they will measure the temperature and display on a screen. So these are the examples of measurement or instrumentation system. Okay, now let me ask you this question. Can someone explain how this system works? What will happen if I place an object on this weighing machine? So when we are placing an object on this weighing machine, there will be sensors. Sensor means a device which will convert physical quantity into electrical quantity. So there will be sensors. So those sensors will sense the weight of this object and it will give to some electrical circuit where some processing will be done, and finally it will be displayed on the screen. Okay, the weight of the, okay, we of course we know sometimes we'll be measuring for 250 gram, sometimes we'll be measuring for 500 gram, sometimes we'll be measuring for 1 kilogram. So the weight will vary. Depending on that, the output of this sensor or transducer also will vary, and the processing will be different for all this signal. So when there is a low output signal from the sensor, the output of processing stage also very low. When the high output is there in the output of sensor, the processing stage output also will be high. So depends on the output of sensor, the processing output also will vary. So proportionally, there will be a change in the reading. So for example, when I am keeping some 5 gram on this tray, I may be getting some 1 volt. When I am keeping some 1000 gram, that is 1 kilogram, I may be getting 2 volt. When I am keeping some 2 kilogram object, I'll be getting some 4 volt, like that. So proportionally depends on the weight. There will be a sensor or transducer which will amplify or which will convert this uh, physical quantity into electrical quantity. And finally, it will process this voltage 1 volt, 2 volt, 4 volt, സംതിങ് സ്യൂട്ടബിൾ ടു ഡിസ്പ്ലേ. ഈ 1 വോൾട്ട് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഡിസ്പ്ലേ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഒരു കാര്യമില്ല, അല്ലെ? 2 വോൾട്ട് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഡിസ്പ്ലേ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഒരു കാര്യമില്ല. കാരണം അത് കോമൺ സെൻസ്, സാധാരണക്കാരൻ അത് മനസ്സിലാവില്ല. സാധാരണക്കാരൻ അത് ഗ്രാമിൽ തന്നെ വേണം. 500 ഗ്രാം വെച്ചാൽ 500 ഗ്രാം എന്ന് കാണണം. So there will be some processing so that this 1 gram, 1 volt will be converted to something in the display 500. 2 volt will be converted to something in the display 1 kilogram, like that. So an instrumentation system or a measurement system is such a system. It will convert physical quantity into electrical quantity, and we can read the exact value of this quantity on a display screen. ഓക്കെ, മനസ്സിലായി എന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, സോ അറ്റൻഡൻസ്. അനസ് റോഷൻ.
Sir.
അനശ്വർ.
Sir.
അനുഗ്രഹ്.
Sir.
അശ്വന്ത്. Ashant C.